What is going on? Good afternoon. How are you? Continuing along in this series, we have arrived at Cancer Risings. So again, just briefly to kind of go over it, just to give you a general idea of what's going on in terms of what I'm speaking about, why I'm using risings versus the sun is because the rising sign, so in any chart, anything that you use, your rising sign, which is where the sun is on the horizon from the perspective of wherever it is that you are born at that time, like where it is on the horizon determines what your rising sign is. And that literally kicks off the houses. So the houses are important in a natal chart because they determine the themes of the planets, the themes of your life and the planets that are in it and the transits that happen in and out of these houses are what give you what's going on. Astrology, basically. If you're listening to any kind of astrology, it does not matter what they say, sun, moon, rising, north node, fucking Jupiter, whatever the case may be. It is still based off of a rising sign, ergo a house, because every single one of the same rising signs have the same house placements. That does not mean that two natal charts are the same. They're actually not. But because again, your planets can be anywhere in this chart, but houses are always the houses. And since your rising kicks it off, it's the only way to properly map that. So keep that in mind. Even with daily horoscopes that we read, we base them off of our sun sign. And yes, they can be accurate because your rising sign will always fall in the first house, which is the house of self. Your sun can potentially be there, but it may not be because it can appear anywhere in the chart in any of the 12 houses. So that being said, because this is tarot and because I want to give you an idea of what to expect with the spring equinox, because we have a shit ton of planets in Aries and then we have 3 big ones right now in Pisces. So because these houses are back to back, I'm like getting ahead of myself and also behind because now this is like the 5th one of these I've done. So I'm like repeating information, but also it's like, did I just say it or not say it? Anyways, so for Cancer risings, okay, hold on, let's back up. So the houses are like this. The first house is the house of self. The second house is the house of possessions and other people's money. The third house is the house of communication. The fourth house is the house of home and family. The fifth house is the house of creativity and pleasure. 6 being work and health. 7 being relationships. 8th being transformations. 9th being philosophy and higher learning. The 10th being career, public image. The 11th house being hopes and goals, and the 12th house being spirituality and secrets. And I do, in every single one of these videos, I have touched upon 8th and 12th house synastry, which is the overlap of 2 natal charts because the planets and the houses and stuff interact with each other. And so like having somebody else's planets in your 8th or 12th house or vice versa is notoriously difficult because those 2 houses are basically, think of the 12th house as spirituality and the 8th house as a cult, if you want to look at it from a spiritual aspect. But just like with spirituality, the 12th house are things that are like hidden. It's your blind side. It's the stuff you don't see. If you have personal planets in there, it's very difficult to shape your identity, communication, things like that, depending upon what it is, because there's aspects of it that are hidden from you and you don't see them. Again, blind side. And the 8th house, which is the house of occult, is also a house of transformation. It's the house of taboo. It's the house of sex, sexuality, inheritance, death, things like that. Like that's what the 8th house is about. It's about a bunch of things too. But yeah, that's why those 2 houses are like just notoriously difficult to navigate with synastry. You'll have a hell of a time if you're in a relationship with people, and there's that kind of stuff. I'm also basing this off of whole sign because it's just easier to do that. You as Cancer risings, Cancer kicks off your first house, so house of self. I'm looking. So right now in Aries, we have Neptune, which is the planet of illusion. We have Saturn, which is the planet of karma and lessons, we have the sun, which is essentially your ego, your highest self, however you want to think of that, like your aim is. Anyways, and then you have Venus, which is the planet of love, and you have Chiron, which is the wounded healer. All this is in Aries. And right next door to that, we have the North Node, which is what I view as like your purpose, what you're supposed to fulfill. If the sun is what your ego, your 5D is meant to be, then like the North Node is like what you're supposed to really accomplish in this lifetime kind of thing. That's how I view it. Planet of Mercury, which is the planet of communication, is there, as well as Mars, which is like your mode of operation. How do you tackle things? How do you move forward? Just essentially, how do you operate? So that being said, so for Cancer risings, and also for Cancer risings, just so you know, right now in your first house of self is Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion. So I wouldn't be surprised if a shit ton of you guys, Cancer risings, have had children or your family has expanded in some way, shape, or form. The moon is now there and it moved very quickly. I hit refresh on this. So I was saying before with like Gemini risings, like, hey, the moon's in your sign, but actually Cancers, it's in your first house of self. So with Jupiter, dude, with Jupiter and the moon, some shit like that, I'd say either you were telling your mom you were pregnant or your mom's telling you she's pregnant. Literally, that's what that could be. But yeah, so with Jupiter in your house, and it's here for a while, just like I said again, like expansion's having to do with the self. Maybe you've gained weight too. Maybe you've grown your hair out. Maybe like something like that. There's been some kind of an extension, whatever the case may be. Anyways, so that being said, working backwards, Aries, which has all of these planets of fucking shit in your sign or in its sign, is back 12, 11, 10. So with Aries, Aries is your 10th house, which is the house of career and public image. And then Pisces being the 9th house, which is philosophy and higher learning, which, with the North Node there, you may have gone back to school, or learning a new trait or learning something. You're probably changing around some shit. And with Mercury and Mars are personal planets, which means they don't spend like a shit ton of time there, but enough. So you're probably really trying to, you may be telling people what you're going to be doing. I wouldn't be surprised if you have plans unfolding right now where you're like contemplating how to convey them to people. But you are. Anyways, and then with the 9th house, hold on, did I say that backwards? Okay, 10th house, career and public image. Okay, so this is all, okay. So career, public image, reputation, and Christ, what? I don't even know what that looks like. It's upside down. It might be accomplishments. I bet it's accomplishments because that would make sense there. So yeah, reputation. Okay. So illusion and karma and the ego's there for a month. And we've got Venus and the wounded healer. So in terms of your public images, I mean, like there's so many places we can go with this. You could be learning some tough lessons on, dude, I mean, like you could be learning some real tough fucking lessons on being duped or duping other people with the illusion there. You may even be getting very big truths in the workplace kind of thing. You might even be getting, if you're in the public eye, Cancer risings, if you're in the public eye, like maybe you do what I do or something like that, you're probably learning that not everybody's showing up in the same way they're supposed to. The wounded healer here is all telling me a lot because it's like literally having to deal with it. Shit, you can't shit. You're going through it with your work. And I keep going back to that Jupiter in your first house. I wouldn't even be fucking surprised if some of you were like having issues with like either your company's not doing good with maternity leave or some shit like that. Or, think something of that nature. I bet you are, but some of you definitely are. And you're like, what the fuck? like, yeah. Or maybe you're having to weigh options on if you wanted to like expand your family. Some of you are probably weighing options in regards to, what do you do? How do you go? What needs to change in order to do that kind of thing? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. All right. Well, that's enough of me guessing. Oh yeah, I need to preface this by saying I'm not even a fucking astrologer. Seriously on the shit. But I have studied astrology for many, many years. I'm obsessed and I have been obsessed. So I have ADHD and hyperfixations. I know more than the average person. And so that's just what I'm just an enthusiast. That's all. That's it. But so, I mean, it's fucking tarot. So I figured let's do some tarot and see how much of this. I'm very curious to know if I'm correct. So, comment and let me know. I'm not claiming to do anything. I'm not pushing a service or anything. This is something I do because A, I love tarot, and B, I love astrology. So, okay. All right. So, my spirit team, my spirit guide, my high self plus the divine. What is all of this in regards to our Cancer risings? What do they need to know? What to expect from springtime? Oh, and I'm using both Oracle and I'm using tarot. Like I said, let's figure out, what to kind of expect. So, time, wishful thinking, lifetime, today, waves. So, delay, procrastination, too busy. We've got wishful thinking, which is second chance, deja vu, nostalgia. Waves being emotions, worry, fear. Today being good vibes, now in the moment. Nightlife being striptease, gamble, and Vegas. Recharge, breathe, let go, and clear your mind. So far, I'm kind of on. In terms of trying to figure out what you need to do. Second chance, deja vu, nostalgia, procrastination, too busy. Yeah, like I said, I'm telling you, you're probably trying to figure out what it is that you really want. And I feel like children are going to be involved here with that Jupiter. I'm sorry, I just do. I hate to harp on it. Crossing over this is Archangel Michael. So protection, prevented from harm, divine intervention. Ooh, in terms of delay and waves, what to say. Healing, self-care, introspection, meditation. Thrills, continuous cycles, bad decisions, and addictions. That's not good. And then longing, missing you, let's talk, and reunion. Okay. So, oh shit. All right. Well, I mean, some of you may have met somebody in Vegas partying or some shit. I mean, half of these fucking cards are about basically being out in Vegas. My spirit team, my spirit guide, my highest self. What is all this in regards to the springtime with Cancer risings, which feels like abundance, an abundant new beginning, longing. Okay, bad choices over an abundance. Oh my God, did somebody get okay? Transformation, death, Jesus. All right, hope and faith and competition with hope and faith, transformation endings, no purpose, bad choices. So some of you had a lack of progress. Some of you have had lack of progress in regards to you have split with somebody, and probably with this abundance. I think there's some of you who have had to you've either had to Yeetus Alphetus, or this can be like a lack of a pregnancy card, and this is like an abundance. This is abundant, this is actually these two together scream that. But that being said, this is abundance, which is I know that's Earth, but it's it can be Jupiter and bad choices, because I was saying Jupiter being in the first house itself. So either with this Lovers in reverse, Gemini, when Uranus was retrograde in Gemini, that could have been an important time. And I think that was last summer, I think, some shit like that. And you either did not move forward with a relationship with this lack of progress. You had a surprise. I'll be perfectly honest, seeing all these Vegas cards and shit. And then that stuff, once I saw the abundant card, and that was the Ace of fucking Pentacles was the first thing that popped out. I go, shit, you got pregnant in Vegas. That's literally what that said to me. And I think that, yeah, there was a lack of teamwork. So either this pregnancy ended, or those choices, a relationship didn't get off the ground. It can go either way. No feedback, no nothing. I can say that. So a lack of progress, and a lack of teamwork, transformation, competition with hope and faith, distracted, and lack of independence. Okay, so hold up. So this is my work card. So this is talking about the Jupiter aspect. So that Jupiter in the first house affected some relationships, but also some of you had to, unfortunately, end a pregnancy, or a pregnancy came to an end. I can't tell. And now this is talking about this down here is I have a second row going. This is talking about your career. So there's a distraction over stepping into independence, ending of a lack of teamwork, and faith and hope over chaos. So it feels like faith in work, also wish fulfillment, not. So some of you are searching for a job. This is what this is telling me. So if you're not searching for a job, you may even be contemplating, because I got the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. So that's a problem with the workplace, lack of teamwork, endings, transformation, Scorpio energy, faith and hope, purpose, being Aquarius upright. And this is my work card, which is chaos, 5 of Wands. So this can also be competition. And so it's like you have faith and hope of edging out competition to get a job, wish fulfillment to not be independent, and distracted, lack of passion. So some of you might even be, that being said, you may be moving towards something that you're passionate about. That could be part of what's happening here. So with all of that career and public image kind of thing, is that some of you are striking it out on your own, but it's not really looking quite like that, actually. I mean, this ending of a lack of partnership, I think that that's actually speaking of people who are either looking for purposeful, meaningful work or hoping to go back to work with this. And I would say going back to work with this, like this is like distracted, lacking passion, and a wish fulfillment is not stepping into independence. So it's like telling me that like you're probably looking for a job versus being an entrepreneur. But that being said, I think a lot of you are looking for fulfilling work. Empress, Taurus energy here. And then with Taurus, there's Uranus in it, late degrees. So that means a wrapping up of some shit before it goes direct in Gemini. And with that becomes your 11th house, which is your hope and fucking dreams. So with Taurus, and when Venus was here not that long ago, you were probably getting some kind of epiphanies around what you truly want to do. That's really what I think. And it could even be, like I said, with like this whole thing is that maybe you do want to work towards being a mother one day, but being a mother right now won't work kind of thing. Like I said, that's possible there with that. I really fucking kind of wrapped up a lot of this shit. I mean, I like it. I'm not complaining. 21 minutes, and most of it was kind of explaining a chart, but I really want to do that one time in each of these videos. But I did not even wrap my head around the repetition of doing that shit over and over again. So I will learn that where I do something like this, because it's different to do it 4 times, which is what I do on TikTok, is that I do the elements doing the literal all 12 signs. I mean, it's a lot. Anyways, so non-rebirth on a revoked love offer, crossing over this wish fulfillment. So lack of self-awareness, ignoring the call of a revoked love offer. So some of you may be having to step into being an entrepreneur with this Judgment in reverse and Knight of Cups in reverse. That could be part of some of this that's going on for you. Is that if you're having issues with finding a job, you're probably being asked to step into, like I said, it's like a non-wish fulfillment is to not be, a wish fulfillment is to not be independent, but not stepping into luxury may even be about self-sufficiency, not wanting to step into self-sufficiency, but you're being asked to do just that. Choices, illusions, options. But yeah, I mean, hold up. Now we got confusion. I was going to be like, that's it. But the cards want to come out. I'm here to read them because obviously there's a message. So confusion over head above hearts here is looking like this is part of this God not calling judgment on a revoked offer is confusion over head above heart. So again, this looks more like you're being asked to move towards your passion versus something that you have to. Bottom of the deck, sneaky betrayal. It could also explain why you can't find the job that you want, or the job that you're expecting. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. But you can sound off and let me know. I'm going to end that here. But yeah, this has been fun. And reach out for me. Sound off, like, comment, share. Let me know if there's something you want some clarification on. And please give me some insight. Let me know what's going on with you guys, Cancer risings. Does this ring like something that you're going through? Let me know. And until next time, bye.